We did one leadership for an entire squad, and the results were, well, interesting, I suppose. I don't really think leadership's that important on Football Manager, although it can be for the odd player. Well, today, we've got a full squad with 20 leadership. Too many cooks spoiling the broth. Too many leaders spoiling the dressing room. That was a bit more poetic in my head. Crap, wasn't it? Yeah, experiment time. Let's go. After that shambles of an intro, I wouldn't blame you for leaving, but please do stick around because today's experiment, we're back with Oldham, ladies and gentlemen, and it's hopefully going to be an interesting one. 20 leadership for every single player, as I alluded to in the intro. We did it with one, and yeah, I felt they underachieved for how good they got. So, did it make that much of a difference? I think it did make a bit of a difference. I can't remember the exact results, so I can't even give you spoilers, but go back and have a watch if you so wish. If you didn't see it, if you have seen it, then yeah, go and watch it again. Watch the ads. Why not? Get me that ad rev. So, of course, as usual, we've got the full squad. They've got 90 current ability, 200 potential ability. They have got 24 leadership, as mentioned, and they're all 17 years old. They've got future transfers to Al Shabab in 2045 for 25 million apiece, which is just under £500 million. I think for the whole squad, 24 times 25, just over ish, give or take. About £500 million. Oldham, of course, do have a transfer embargo until 2045, so they can't bring any players in the meantime. So it's just going to be these players that have got max leadership. Now, normally we just say, how are they going to get on? But I'm going to go and take over from Mickey Mellon just for a second, just to see what the squad hierarchy's saying at this juncture. So the team cohesion is currently abysmal. Is that because I've just created all these players in the pre-game editor, got rid of all the other players, and they've not had time to gel? That's probably going to be the case. We'll come and have a look back at this next season. So we will come and do this again. In terms of the social group, they're all in the core social group. Oh, gone to a team meeting. The hierarchy's there. They're all in other players, unfortunately. No influential, no highly influential, no team leaders. I think you can only have 3 team leaders. But with 20 leadership, is there going to be a power struggle and have different team leaders trying to sort of get their way to the top? Who will be the captain? Fun fact, it is centre-backs, I believe, that have the most attribute breakdown points changing from leadership. If you have them at 1 leadership to 20, it is the most influential at centre-back. You can't see it in this skin, unfortunately, because if you go to start editing, you don't see the current ability. But like, so for example, if I go to edit attribute details, recommended current ability 89, right? 90 at 200. He's at 89. If we go to leadership of 1, yeah, down at 81. Whereas if we do a winger, yeah, Oldham winger 3 over here, he's there at 90. Loving life, as you do. Changing him from 20 down to 1, there you go, 87. Only lost 3 attribute points, whereas the defender lost 9. So, does it make a difference? This is an EBFM chat. This is EBFM. Get yourself over here and start analysing some of these findings. Does it make a difference where you have your captain? Because for me, if I want someone who's got 20 leadership, I want someone who's going to have 20 leadership and he's not going to take up a load of attribute points of their current ability. So I want my winger to be my captain now, not a centre back. But then a centre back would be better to be the captain because the marshal, traditionally, your centre-backs are better off being captains, so yeah. Anyway, there you go. In terms of the season preview, they're 5-4 on. I think that was the same last time. Chesterfield 9-4 on to go up as champions. And I think last time, it's coming back to me now, didn't we finish like 14th? Wasn't it abysmal that first season? And then they did really well getting back-to-back promotions. So yeah, we're going to go through to 2024, one season, to see if they do go up at the first time of asking. There's a left-back here called Ralph. Of course, the first Ralph when you search is Ralph Hasenhüttl. He's currently unemployed. Let's hope he goes and gets a job. Okay, so 6th. 6th is not that good, to be honest, is it really? But it's much better than 14th than it was last time. They did get themselves into the playoffs. Gateshead have gone up as champions. York promoted via the playoffs. If we look at the tree, Oldham beat Bromley, and then they won against Woking in extra time, and they lost 3-2 to eventual playoff winners, York City. So a final defeat for Oldham. Carl Robinson is in charge. Didn't Carl Robinson come in last time? Mickey Mellon got sacked last time, and I'm sure Carl Robinson came in again. How weird is that that's happened on 2 save files in a row with the same team? If it hasn't, and he didn't go, I'm the other one, and I'm just being delirious, then apologies. But I'm sure it did. Sure it did. Anyway, Carl Robinson's in charge again. In terms of the Oldham squad, as you can see, it's still got 20 all over the pitch for leadership. If we do sort by current ability, loads in the 1-teens, quite a few have got over 100. Only 3 are still below 100. Anyone in the under 18s? Oldham winger 4. Get him in the main squad. They're all going to be homegrown at club as well, so it'd be great for them when they get into Europe, if they ever do get into Europe. We did say we'd take over as a manager just to see the hierarchy of the squad. We'll do that in a second. Quick look at the Vanarama National League. 4-1 on in terms of going up. Littered through the Media Dream 11. Yeah, 4-1 on going up as champions. Chesterfield in second. Add a manager then. So the team cohesion's a lot better than it was, but still not great. Many contrasting personalities throughout the club. There are many contrasting personalities throughout the club. Hold on. The hierarchy. No team leaders. Highly influential player is Oldham centre forward 1, who is the captain. 4 influential players. Everyone else is other. Social groups, all in the same social group. So back to what this said. There are many contrasting personalities throughout the club. Interesting. So let's go through the team. There's your personality. Can you see it, ladies and gentlemen? Personality, spirited. Let's count them. Spirited, 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 spirited. Oh, there we go. Spirited. And did anyone mention spirited? Yeah, there are many contrasting personalities. They're all spirited, dickhead. Nice one. So off we move to 2025 then. And they've gone up as champions on 98 points. Chesterfield coming in second, 8 points adrift. They did, however, manage to win the playoffs, so they've come up with us. The award winners going through, there is no referee of the season, which is very sad to see. If anyone's seen the Perfect Player Lotto at Club in France video that's probably gone up on the channel reasonably recently, in France they've got an award winner for referee of the season, which I think is phenomenal. We had a lot of fun with that one. Well, I did anyway. You might have hell hated it. Anyway, it's not in England, so we can't do it again. In League 2. So the season preview is saying 91-1 on. Fair play. Carl Robinson's got promoted at the first time of asking. 120s for so many players. Everyone's over 100, or at least at 100. 3 on 109, so almost all in the at least 1-teens, but so many in the 120s. Fair play to them. Oldham centre forward 2 is the best at 126. Capped under 20 level for England. Look at his luscious locks. Look at that hair. Look at that hair. Phenomenal stuff. Almost as good as that quiff. 2 of them have been moved back down to the under 18s. Get them out the under 18s. The only problem is with the future transfers away is they can't loan any of these players out. I wish that was something. I wish you could lock a player at a club without having to do the future transfer. That's something I'd like to see for FM25. I'd like to be able to do these simulations, lock a player at a club without having to have the future transfer, so they could go on loan to get first team experience and potentially reach their potential, because there's always something that's just a little bit missing with some of the players. Anyway, Oldham winger 2 is a wing back left. He's been retrained because, well, they don't play wingers, so they needed to be retrained, and he has been. Loads in the 120s, as mentioned, they think they're going to go up at the first time of asking, so we're going to go through to 2026 and see if that is the case. But before we do that, if I could be so cheeky as to ask you all to subscribe to the channel. We're marching towards 10,000 subscribers, which I can't believe. You are making that happen, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to everyone who's already subscribed, and thank you to everyone who will on the back of this request. I won't keep boring you with it. 2026, here we come. And there you go. Not only have we gone up as champions, Chesterfield have come second again. This time they didn't have to go up via the playoffs because 3 go up automatically. And Notts County have come up via the playoffs, coming with us. Colchester taking the 3rd automatic promotion spot. We got 90 points this season in League 2. And if we look at League 1, the season preview is saying 10-1 on. They think we're going to go up as champions. And it's not surprising, really, considering that we got loads in the 130s and 120s. You're in the 1-teens, but everyone is over 100. Even some of the players that were in the under 18s have come up now because they're too old. So yeah, some of them are youngsters, some of them are fringe players. Oldham winger 4 has been retrained as a wing back left. To me, it's a shame that he's not going to change his tactic. Carl Robinson is going to stick with his tactic because that's his preferred formation. And that's one of the big issues I do have, again, with the AI as managers. They do stick to their preferred formation regardless of who they've got as players. Because realistically, you would play wingers, you'd be playing a 4-3-3 with this team, because I've set them up to have potentially a 4-3-3. But that's it. That's not to worry. Who cares? We're in 2026, as mentioned, in League One. The media think they're going to go up automatically, 10-1 on. So on we move to 2027. Let's pick up the pace a bit. Okay, they did not go up as champions. It was Bristol City that went up as champions on 93 points. But the second automatic promotion place was reserved for Oldham, 85 points. 3 teams on 85 points. Bloody hell. It was goal difference that took us up considerably, to be fair. Only Bristol City had a better goal difference in the league. And in terms of the awards then, shall we have a quick look at the top goal scorer? It was Oldham centre forward 3 with 22, Paul Mullin with 18, and Fabio Jalo on 17 for Barnsley. So yeah, there you go. Going up as second place, which is fair enough. Didn't they go up as champions every league with the one leadership? See, now this is what's going to be interesting. Is having too many leaders detrimental to the club, or is leadership just a bit of a nothing attribute that really doesn't matter that much to most players, and they're actually worse players because some of their current ability is taken up with the leadership attribute? That's a good question, and unfortunately, if you're thinking I'm going to be answering that question, well, you've obviously never been on the channel. We don't really answer the in-depth questions. We just sort of flirt around the edges and have a bit of fun along the way. Yeah. So if you came here for insightfulness, then you've come to the wrong place. In terms of the championship, then they have a lot of players in the Media Dream 11 still, just been promoted. Leicester, Blackburn and Southampton coming down. Addicted to finishing the playoff places. Middlesbrough are going to go up as champions, apparently, with us in second, according to the media. Looking over the squad, and look at that, loads in the 140s. Quite a few in the 130s, then the 120s and 110s. It is what it is, but 140s is absolutely brilliant up here. And look at this, winger 2 is wing back left, and he is up at 147, as quite a few of them up at 147. And I wonder, is that the cap that you can get to with that sort of personality type and everything in League One? Because it does seem very strange that they're all at 147. Anyway, in the Championship, they're all these are at 147. Almost certainly will be over 150. How many is that? 6. They'll all be over 150. Maybe even at right back 2 as well. Is at 146. They're all rounding out into being very good players, though. So let's go to 2028 and see if they do manage to get out the Championship at the first time of asking. I won't be surprised if this is the first season that they fail to get promoted. But I've been wrong many times before, and I'll be wrong many times again. However, I was not wrong this time. I was correct. Not only did they fail to get automatic promotion, they didn't even make it into the playoffs. I do believe, and it was goal difference to be fair, against Norwich. 8 was the goal difference for Oldham, and 18 was the goal difference for Norwich. Norwich sneaking 6th place. Sheffield United did get promoted via the playoffs in the end on 84 points. They probably deserved it because they were in touching distance of Leicester and Southampton, who went up automatically. But disappointing really for Oldham. 7th. Pretty underwhelming. And now the favourites to go up at 13-8. And we'll have a quick look at the squad. Well, firstly, 156. Is that now the cap? Is that now the limit of where we're at? 147 seems to be the one in League One. Now is 156 the limit for the Championship? Well, interesting. Quite a good bit of progress, though, for quite a few players. Nearly 10 attribute points during that season. John Dahl Thomason is in charge, and he plays a 4-3-3. And Winger 2 and Winger 3 are playing... Winger 2 is up at 156. Winger 3 is down at 142. Winger 4 at 114 and Winger 1 at 124. I think they are going to get some game time, and I do believe, due to injuries and due to whatever other reasoning, I do think they're going to get a little bit more game time. And they're only 22. They've got plenty of time to progress, because these guys aren't really going to progress much more, especially not in the Championship. Wouldn't be surprised if they don't move up from 156 at all. Maybe 157 will be the max. But this is the season for all these guys to really kick on and sort of catch up a bit. Carl Robinson was sacked, which was very unfortunate, really. He'd won so many promotions. Sacked due to the club's poor league position. Well, how poor was the league position, to be perfectly honest? John Dahl Thomason, when did he come in? 15th of the 11th. The 15th of November. I mean, so August was a bit of a shambles. September wasn't great. October, not too bad. And they won 3 on the spin. By the 15th of November, they'd won 3 on the spin. Things had turned round. And then John Dahl Thomason came in, won 4 more on the spin, so 7 wins in a row, and then they went 4 without a win. But they didn't do too badly. Didn't do too badly in the end, and they think they're going to go up automatically this season. So we'll see. We will see if they manage to achieve that. So let's go to 2029. Find out. Oh, well. Blackburn are champions, Stoke City in second place, third place going up via the playoffs. And the playoffs, 3rd to 6th, was separated by 3 points. So we had Oldham on 80 points. We had Middlesbrough on 79, West Brom on 78, Sunderland on 77. In terms of the playoffs then, let's have a look at the tree. Oldham beating Sunderland 4-2 and then beating West Brom 1-0 after extra time. John Dahl Thomason was sacked. Why was he sacked? Due to the club's poor league position on the 14th of the 10th, even quicker this season. John O'Shea is the assistant manager of Oldham, and then Raphael Vicky has come in as manager. So he came from Nottingham Forest. He was at Young Boys for 5 years. He's been at Chicago and Basel. But Raphael Vicky has managed to win promotion. His favoured formation is a 5-3-2. So he suits the system as to what Carl Robinson did. John Dahl Thomason, unfortunately, didn't manage to kick on, unfortunately. In terms of the players then, 156 was not the cap then, because loads at 157, a couple at 158, one at 162. But it seems like the 150s is where they're starting to stagnate because they weren't in the Premier League. I think there's going to be quite a jump now. A lot are going to get into the 160s this season, maybe even sneaking into the 170s. I wouldn't be surprised. Even at 23 going to 24, still quite a good jump of over 12, 13, 14 attribute points respectively, depending on which player you're talking about. Should we have a quick look at the squad? Premier League season preview, 11th, fair play. Who's been winning the Premier League? Man City, of course they have. Actually, Liverpool have won a couple. Tottenham come in second once. De Zerbi's in charge of Man City. Where's Pep gone? Pep got sacked. Pep got sacked. What? And he's just retired. Pep got sacked and retired. Luis Enrique came in and also got sacked, so he's now the manager of Bayern. He's not really lost any sleep over it. Let's have a look at the hierarchy at Oldham. The team cohesion is very good. The club atmosphere is decent. The hierarchy, 3 team leaders. Everyone's highly influential or influential. Only 3 as other. I don't think they're playing much, are they? Oldham right back 1, 114. Left back 1, 105. Goalkeeper 1, he's not playing, is he? 106. So that's why they're on other. Everyone else is influential, highly influential, or a team leader. In terms of the social group, they're all still in the same social group. And at the first time of asking in the Premier League, the media got it spot on, and Oldham did finish 11th. Well, there we go then. And did I get it right and say some of the players are in the 170s? No, I was just a bit off. I was a little bit ambitious, but quite a few of them have jumped up considerably. We do have a couple at 170. We've got quite a few in the high 160s. So yeah, they've done all right. They've done all right this season. They've managed to get themselves up to where they're going to be potentially going to be competing for a European place, depending on who wins cup competitions, etc. So they're in a decent position. But again, leadership's not really done anything for this team. They're as disappointing as the team without any leadership. So it's really not made any difference at all, has it? So what we're going to do now is, how old are the players? The players are 24. So they're going to keep improving as they keep moving on. Well, shall we move to 2035? We'll go 5 years now. They're in the Premier League. They're not going to get relegated. We're going to go 5 years to 2035. We'll see how the players are getting on. Has anyone made it to 200? 29, they'll be about to start declining. So if they're going to win any trophies, it's over these next 5 years. Let's go to 2035 and see how they're getting on. So the first season they did finish 11th. That's where we were last time out. And then moving on, the next season they did finish 8th, getting Conference League football. Again, exactly what the media predicted, which is, very interesting. The following season after that, they got Europa League football by finishing 6th. Did they win the Conference League? Possibly. We will be checking that. Arsenal getting Conference League football, finishing in 9th. Interesting. Man City still winning the league. Arsenal won the league the season before that as well. So surprising. Big fall from grace there. Anyway, we finished 6th. The following season, we finished 3rd, getting Champions League football. Now, is that Champions League qualification via the league, or is that Champions League qualification via winning the Europa League? 6 teams have qualified for the Champions League, so either the Europa League's been won by an English team, or the Champions League has, I think. We will check that in a second. So in 2033-34, we slipped back down to 7th, unfortunately, and yeah, getting Europa League football. United in 8th, getting Champions League football. Must have won something. And then we climbed back into the Champions League places, finishing in 5th. And again, it was 6 teams qualifying, and we were in the Europa League. Have we won a couple of Europa Leagues? It's quite possible that we have. I'm going to quickly look over the season preview and see that the media think they're going to finish third. And if we look at the Oldham team, 194 for the goalkeeper. 194 for the goalkeeper, loads in the 180s, a few in the 170s, one at 160, 150s. They've got a very good squad. Not sure why Oldham centre forward one is a fringe player at 185. Well, they're playing a 4-3-3. Why are they playing a 4-3-3, I hear you ask? Well, John Lundstrom, Raphael Vicky got sacked after 5 years in charge of the club, and he did get a Europa Conference League, beating AS Roma in the 31-32 season. And then the Europa League, well, it was only recently in the 34-35 season did the Europa League get won. United and Tottenham have won the Europa Leagues in previous seasons, and it was Tottenham, Man City and Liverpool back here that also helped with the 6 qualification spots for the Premier League because they won the Champions League. So it's been a bit underwhelming, hasn't it, really? They haven't done anything other than just tick along. They've not been great. They've not been impressive at all in terms of having loads of leadership, and they've really kicked on. But there's £468 million in the bank. They've got plenty of money that they can play with when the transfer embargo's up. We've got a couple of stop-ins before that, but the players are going to start to decline. Are they going to decline so much that they're going to be relegated? I think over these next 5 years, they're going to be okay because they're going to be all right and they're going to hold their ability for maybe a couple of years, but it's how quickly do they decline? Let's go to 2040, see how they're getting on. So yeah, we were in 5th in the Champions League last time we were here, and the following season, again, back down in Europa League places, finishing in 7th. It's not good that at 30 years old, they're only managing to get 7th. Disappointing. They did, though, manage to bounce back and get 4th the following season. Then 3rd the season after that. Spurs winning the league there by a landslide, to be fair. And then 3rd again. Back-to-back 3rds. Only 3 points off Chelsea, who were eventual winners. We were level on points with Tottenham, who, to be fair, 89, 86, 86. The top 3 have run away with it here because 69 was the next closest team with United. And then Fulham in Champions League football. Man City also getting Champions League football by finishing in 8th. They must have won something. And then we finished in 4th, slipping down a place, unfortunately. And we were off the pace as well. 71 points to the eventual winners on 85. And then we're here at present day. The season preview thinks we're going to finish in 4th, 11-1 on to win it. Only 2 players in the Media Dream 11, the goalkeeper and centre-back 5. They're 34 years old now, to be fair. Mikel Arteta's in charge. Hang on. Another Europa League in 2037 and an FA Cup in 2037. So who won those trophies? Well, it was Mikel Arteta. John Lundstrom actually won the Europa League. Yes, he won the Europa League, sorry. And then Mikel Arteta has come in. He's won the Community Shield, the European South American Club Challenge, the FA Cup and the Europa League. Mikel Arteta for nearly 4 years representing, doing wonderful stuff. 4-3-3 is his preferred formation. And look, 13 years at Arsenal, went to Bayern Munich for 4 years. Now he's manager of Oldham. And the players have held their ability quite well. Quite a few in the 180s still and the 170s. So they haven't fallen away massively. No one's lost any leadership. That's important to note. So they won a few trophies and we're in 2040. The final stop is 2045. Can they stay in the Premier League or will they fall out and be back in the Championship or even lower? We'll see. So yeah, we did finish in 4th in the 39-40 season, and the following season after that, down in 9th, missing out on Europe completely. And there we go, the writing's on the wall. Oh, back up in 7th, getting Europa League football. Liverpool in 9th, getting Champions League football. I mean, what the hell? How badly have they done in the league to get Champions League football from 9th? Anyway, we finished 7th, getting Europa League football, and then 14th in the 42-43 season. Oh my God. Survived by a point. We survived by a solitary point. Goal difference would have had us down. Middlesbrough getting Champions League football from 14th. What's happening over here? Chelsea winning the league again. And the most recent season, yeah, bottom AF. Wow, look at that. 13 points. 24 points adrift. That's abysmal, isn't it? That is abysmal. We're in the Championship. The season preview. Media thinks it's going to finish 5th. Well, John Hayward's in charge. Let's have a look at the squad. They've held the ability quite well. So these have all got a future transfer And of course, Oldham do have in the bank £1 billion. £500 million's coming in. They've got the transfer embargo that's about to be lifted. In terms of the managers, Mikel Arteta was sacked not long after his success, unfortunately. Then Poch came in for less than a year. And they're just sacking managers left, right and centre when it's not their fault. They're working with an ageing squad that's just doing rubbish. But yeah, a load of money to potentially play with. £280 million plus £500 million. They're going to have £700 million transfer budget. We have simulated forward, of course we have. So we're going to do that now, but disappointing that they didn't manage to win anything, even with 20 leadership. So 20 leadership didn't offer any sort of benefit, really, did it? And spirited personality wasn't that impressive. Anyway, so on we move. We're going to simulate forward to where I got to. I just simmed forward. We'll see how far it goes into the future as a little bit of an outro, and just to see how they fared with all that money. 2056 is when we're coming back. 11 years I've moved on into the future, and they are in the Premier League. They have made it back to the Premier League. So if we go to the 44-45 season, yeah, they were relegated. And then nearly getting relegated again, 19th. And the following season up in 6th, missing out in the playoffs. The following season again, 6th in the playoffs, missing out. Down in 9th. So they're in the Championship for quite a while. Again, heartbreaking the playoffs, finishing 5th. Then 9th, then 4th, again missing out in the playoffs. God. Then 3rd, then finally getting promoted in the 53-54 season. So then got relegated again. Oh, God. And then they've just got promoted again. So we're back up in the Premier League. Ali Crockard is in charge. What a crap haircut. £500 million still in the bank. They spent £59 million in that season where they lost all those players. And then the following season, again, actually making a profit that season. Making a profit of £7.5 million. Got no business making a profit there. Again, spending what they earn, really. Like 59 million in, 70 out. When you've got £1 billion and a half in the bank, you can afford to splash the cash a little bit. They were very conservative. Then they started spending a bit. But then the following season, they made a profit. So it's just been one of those things that that money's been whittled down over time, but they've not really gone and splashed the cash massively. If anything, they've probably made a profit in terms of transfers over the last few years. So that's the end of today's experiment, ladies and gentlemen. Underwhelming, to be honest. Leadership, I've never rated it as an attribute, really. And this goes to show that low or high leadership for the entire squad hasn't really made the world of difference. It takes up current ability. It is probably good on the odd player. You do need a good couple of leaders in the squad to get those dynamics, but you don't need it on everyone. So if you've got a few players with very poor leadership, so what? If you've got a player with 20 or 18 or something like that, that's fine. That will do. Few high, few low. Don't waste your current ability. Don't go sending them on courses. Don't have them train it, I guess. I hope you enjoyed it, though. If you did, please drop a like on it. Let me know in the comments down below any attributes you want me to do this in the future, hidden or front-facing. Other than that, any other ideas for other experiments, let me know in the comments down below. But most importantly, gang, do take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.